What is going on, guys? It's your boy B back with another video today. So the last video that I made was me reviewing the Genesis, and I showed in there that I had sold the car that day. So the Genesis is gone. That was the end of the road for that project car. It didn't turn out the way I wanted it to on the channel, you know, and I'd mentioned some of those things, it being untraditional, me learning how to do videos and whatnot. So I'm sitting right now in my new car. Obviously, you could tell it's not a new car, but it's my new car. And I had mentioned in a few videos that I'm wanting to get into drifting, into learning how to drift, and just documenting my experience. And, you know, for those of you out there, maybe my learning experience will help you. But I've chosen the car that I'm going to do it in. I drove with the help of Austin. He just happened to be in Nashville yesterday, and he texted me, said, "Hey man, you're gonna be home." So it just really worked out perfectly, actually, that he was in town, and that same day I had found this car. So once he got here, we went to go eat, and we talked about, you know, the car that I was looking at, this car. And I'm like, "Hey man, can you give me a ride to Knoxville," which is, you know, about three and a half hours away from here. So he's like, "Hell yeah, no problem." Once I, you know, mentioned what the car was and what it was like. So we drove down to Knoxville, met the guy, and very nice guy. And this was his first car, and you know, he'd put some work into it, and we'll get into those specs of what's done to it. And it sounds like this. So as you can tell, it is definitely not stock. So the 300ZX only came in, I don't know about the Z31, but I know the Z32 only came in the V6 and the V6 Turbo. I don't know if it came in a 4-cylinder or not, but this is obviously not a 4 or 6-cylinder. So what is under the hood is an LR4 4.8 liter V8, obviously LS engine, that's slightly modified. And this is my first V8 that I've ever owned. I've driven V8s, but I've never owned one. And this one is definitely a fun time. So I had mentioned that I'm going to start doing drift events. So right now, I don't have a job. So because I lost both my jobs in the same week, so going well over here. But besides that, so once I get a new job and start getting some money to put into this car, we'll be starting that endeavor very soon. So with all that out of the way, this video is going to be me going door to door on this car, talking about the engine specs and what's been done to the car, and everything that needs to be done to get this thing drifting and out on the track. So I've hopped out of the car, had a little bit of fun, so let's dive into what's underneath the hood. I mentioned that it's a 4.8 liter LR4 engine, so it's got an LS in it. It has the 5.3 862 heads in there, so the heads are 862s. Has a pack 1218 valve springs, which is good for me, that the valve springs were replaced, because running at high RPMs drifting, I don't want to bend a valve. So very happy that those were replaced. It has a Elgin 1839P cam. So from what I understand, the cam is probably like a stage 1, so the cam's not that aggressive. So has a cam in it, has LS1 Bosch injectors, so upgraded injectors. As you guys saw, it has the LS6 intake manifold, so it's kind of a low profile. The headers are CM Performance Hugger headers. And one of the best things on it, the Phytech ECU and the Phytech harness. And then for the transmission, it's obviously a 5-speed. It has a Z32 transmission. And for those of you that aren't familiar with Nissan 300ZXs, they came in 2 generations, the Z31 and the Z32. Z32 I think was around 1990 to like, I don't remember, 95 or 6 or something. So it has a Z32 transmission, so the second gen of this vehicle has the transmission in there. And I think it was like a G-force adapter plate was what they used to make it compatible. And then it has a custom drive shaft, and then the whole car, as you guys saw, are sitting on the white Suzuka 18-inch wheels. I think it's 9.5 front, 11 in the back. So yeah, that's the list of everything. There's some more stuff on there, like the muffler and exhaust and like all that stuff that's on it that I didn't mention in the swap kit. I forgot the brand, but if you guys are interested in you know, what brand was used to do the whole LS transfer, message me. I have those that information. So to get it where it needs to be to get out on the track for me, to start learning how to drift, it needs first and foremost power steering. So it doesn't have power steering. The steering rack seems to be in place, but it doesn't have, I assume, a pump. It doesn't have a power steering pump, or it needs one. And so I have to dive into that and see what it needs there. But for now, I'm like using all my effort to fucking steer the car. You know, it's pretty fine. It's okay whenever you're driving, you know, it's not bad. But like when you're in a parking lot and you're like starting to go, you have to fucking just like put all your effort into it. Yep, power steering first and foremost. Coilovers will probably be number 2. The fuel pump is in the engine bay, which is not safe if you're doing anything on the track. So gonna have to move that fuel pump. Might have to get a new fuel pump. It's like a Walbro, but it's sputtering a little bit. It has a little bit of popcorn in the acceleration at low RPM, so it might need. I need an extra set of wheels. Obviously, gonna be burning rubber. Clutch, might need a clutch. It's fine, but it's just a stage 1, and I don't want to have to worry about dropping that sumbitch out the bottom. But I'll probably drop this sumbitch out the bottom and then replace it with either a stage 2 or maybe a stage 3. I used a stage 3 in my 350Z, and daily driving it was a bitch. So I don't know. I didn't really like having this much of play in a clutch at all. So that didn't fancy me very well. Eventually I'll have to do the clutch, but also a roll cage. For you to be able to compete in a drift comp or even get on the track, you have to have a roll cage. So I'm gonna either have to, you know, investigate how I can build one. I don't know how many points of contact it has to have. Either gonna have to get a welder and figure out how to do it, or just find one that will, you know, pretty much piece together into the car. I have no idea about any of this stuff, so we're gonna learn. But that's what's under the hood. That's what I bought. And these things, the coilovers, roll cage, fuel pump moved, power steering, a set of wheels, and clutch is what I need. So it sounds like a lot, but it's not really that much to get this thing out there. So yeah, hope you guys like the car. I don't really know the weight distribution of the car. It's probably like 60-40. So it's not 50-50 like a Prelude or a 240, but it's what we're working with, and I love the car so far. I'm glad that I got an LS swap car, and I'm really ready to adventure into the LS world and the drifting world. So thank you guys for watching. Let me know what you guys think of the car, and catch you next time.